the breath of life. Why we absolutely need oxygen. Oxygen, wow, it's all around us, isn't it? You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. But guess what? You need it. Every single second, every single day. It's super, super important for life. Think about it. You breathe in, you breathe out. That in-breath, that's your body grabbing oxygen. It's like your body's favorite invisible snack. Without it, things would stop pretty quickly. So let's dive into this amazing gas science. This amazing stuff we call oxygen makes up about 21% of the air, just about 1/5 of every breath you take. That might not sound like a lot, but it's the perfect amount. It's the Goldilocks amount for us humans, and many animals too. Not too much, not too little. It's just right for us to live. Plants are super cool because they make oxygen for us. They take in carbon dioxide, which we breathe out, and they give us back fresh oxygen. Teamwork. Okay, so we know oxygen is important, super important, but how does it actually work its magic inside you? It's all about something called cellular respiration. Whoa, big words, but it's not as complicated as it sounds, I promise. Think of your cells as tiny power plants, really tiny. They take in food, like sugars from your lunch, and they take in oxygen from your breath. Then zap, they create energy. It's like a tiny, controlled fire. This energy is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Science, that's the fuel that powers everything you do, from blinking your eyes to thinking big thoughts. Without oxygen, your cells can't make much ATP. It's like trying to start a car with no spark plugs. The fuel is there, but you can't unlock its power. Oxygen is that essential spark for your cells. It's a chemical reaction, a beautiful, life-sustaining reaction. Your red blood cells are the oxygen taxis in your body. Now, that 21% oxygen in the air is great for everyday life, but sometimes our bodies need a little extra help. That's where medical oxygen comes in. It's a game changer. Doctors can give patients higher concentrations of oxygen, sometimes even close to 100% pure oxygen for short periods. This can be super helpful in many medical situations, like if someone is having trouble breathing or if their body isn't getting enough oxygen on its own. Think about people with lung conditions like pneumonia or COPD. Their lungs might struggle to get enough oxygen from normal air. Giving them extra oxygen can make a huge difference. It helps their bodies get the fuel they need to fight illness and to repair themselves. It's like a boost for healing. Paramedics also use oxygen for emergencies. It's a critical tool to help stabilize patients. Science helping people feel better. How cool is that? There's also something called hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Wow. So if a little extra oxygen is good in hospitals, is a lot always better? Like, what if we just breathe 100% pure oxygen all the time? Would we become super strong, super smart, live forever? Well, hold on to your lab coats because it's not that simple. Our bodies are designed for that 21% oxygen mix. That specific balance is what we've adapted to over millions of years. Messing with that balance can have some surprising effects, and not always the good kind of surprising either. You might have heard of oxygen bars or athletes using oxygen. The idea is that a quick hit of pure oxygen can boost energy or performance. Some people report feeling refreshed or more alert, but the science on whether this has long-lasting benefits is a bit fuzzy. Your blood is usually already almost full of oxygen from normal air. If you're healthy, your hemoglobin is already doing a great job. So taking a few whiffs of pure oxygen might not do much extra. It's more about how your body uses oxygen, not just how much it gets. And think about it, your body is a finely tuned instrument. It has systems in place to regulate how much oxygen your tissues get. Section 5. The big gulp first moments with 100% oxygen. Imagine you put on a special mask and suddenly you're breathing 100% pure oxygen. Whoa! What would happen? What would you feel? Well, for the first few minutes, probably not much dramatic. You might feel a little lightheaded maybe, or you might notice the air feels different, cleaner or drier. Some people say it makes them feel a bit more alert, but your body is already pretty good at grabbing oxygen from normal air inside your lungs. Things would change pretty quickly though. Normally the air you breathe is mostly nitrogen, about 78%. Nitrogen doesn't do much. It just kind of hangs out in your lungs. It helps keep your tiny air sacs, called alveoli, open. But if you breathe pure oxygen, there's no nitrogen. It's all oxygen rushing in. This means the concentration of oxygen in your lungs goes way up, much higher than that usual 21%. Science in action. Your blood, especially that amazing hemoglobin, would get loaded. It would become almost completely saturated with oxygen. Section 6. Too much of a good thing. When oxygen gets feisty. So what happens if you keep breathing pure oxygen for too long? This is where we meet oxygen toxicity. It sounds serious, right? Well, it can be. Our friend oxygen can turn a bit feisty. One of the first places to feel the effects is your lungs. Remember those tiny air sacs, the alveoli, when they're filled with only oxygen and no nitrogen to keep them plump, they can start to collapse when the oxygen gets absorbed into the blood. This is called absorption atelectasis. A mouthful, I know. Prolonged exposure to high oxygen levels can also irritate your lungs. It can cause inflammation in the airways. You might start to feel a burning sensation in your chest. You could develop a cough or find it harder to breathe. It's like the lining of your lungs is saying, hey, too much oxygen here. This is known as pulmonary oxygen toxicity. It can happen if someone breathes more than 50% oxygen for many hours or days. Even though oxygen is life, too much can damage the very organs that process it. Think of oxygen molecules as being very reactive. They love to combine. Section 7, brain alert, oxygen overload and your noggin. It's not just your lungs that can be affected by too much oxygen. Your brain and nervous system can also react to an oxygen overload. This is called central nervous system, CNS oxygen toxicity. It usually happens when you breathe very high pressure oxygen. Think deep-sea divers using special gas mixes, or patients in that hyperbaric oxygen therapy we talked about. If the pressure and oxygen concentration get too high, too fast, your brain can get a bit overwhelmed. Consider this. What are the signs of CNS oxygen toxicity? Well, they can be quite dramatic and come on suddenly. People might experience tunnel vision or ringing in their ears. They might feel nauseous or start twitching, especially around the face. Dizziness, confusion and anxiety are also common symptoms. In severe cases, it can even lead to seizures. It's your brain's way of saying, whoa, this is too much stimulation. It's a serious condition that needs immediate attention. Why does this happen? Well, it's complex. Science is like that. But it's thought that high-pressure oxygen interferes with brain chemistry. Section 8, handle with care, tricky situations with pure oxygen. Pure oxygen isn't just about what it does inside your body, it also changes the environment around you. And that can be tricky. One of the biggest things to remember is oxygen makes things burn, not by itself. Oxygen isn't flammable on its own, but it makes other things catch fire much more easily. And it makes fires burn hotter and faster, way faster. So, if you have pure oxygen around, you need to be super careful. No sparks, no flames, no smoking. Seriously, this is a big deal in hospitals where oxygen is used. Staff are trained to prevent fire risks. They make sure there are no sources of ignition near oxygen equipment. Even a small spark from static electricity could be dangerous, or a faulty electrical device. Safety first, always. This is also why you see no smoking signs everywhere in hospitals. It's not just for general health. It's a major fire safety rule, especially where medical oxygen is in use. Another group that needs special care with oxygen is premature babies. Section 9. The perfect mix. Oxygen, life's delicate balance. So, what's the shocking truth about breathing pure oxygen? Well, it's that oxygen is amazing, essential, a lifesaver. But like many things in science and in life, it's all about balance. The right amount, in the right place, at the right time, the 21% oxygen in the air we breathe every day, it's pretty much perfect for us humans and our amazing bodies. It fuels our cells, powers our adventures, and keeps us going. It's a fantastic example of how nature gets things just right. We've seen that higher concentrations of oxygen can be a medical miracle, helping people heal, fight infections, and breathe easier when they're sick. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy shows incredible promise for certain conditions. Science is constantly learning how to use oxygen's power for good, but we've also seen that pure oxygen isn't something to play around with. It's not a recreational drug or a magic performance enhancer for most. Too much for too long can lead to oxygen toxicity, affecting our lungs and even our brains. Whoa! And we can't forget the environmental factors like fire risk. Pure oxygen demands respect and careful handling. It's a powerful substance, and with great power comes great responsibility.